Hi everybody, this is Lady Mizzo from SaradominsHolyArmy clan here in the duel arena with Heathenblood. The point of this video today is to discuss the Evolution to Combat beta because it was just released to free-to-play players, I believe, today to be accessed every day of the week. I know we could all access it on the weekends, but this I think is kind of exciting. The point of this video specifically though is to talk about the tabs and everything that's changed so everybody can be in keen with this new update. Right away when you log in, you're presented with something called an ability bar. This is a bar that you set up while engaging in combat. This whole update is about combat, so this is rather important if you're going to continue to play RuneScape. I've been playing 10 years personally, and I'm a little nostalgic, so I'm still learning and trying to get this set up myself, so I figure this is a great opportunity to go about. So, if you happen to lose your ability bar after logging in, to access it, you don't go under the combat tab like I thought. You have to go to this little rectangle that is above the chat box. Alright, so now you have your ability bar open. When you guys see it, if you haven't added anything to it, it should be blank like this with the black squares and the red X's. Now in order to set up your combat styles, you need to open the ability book. The ability book used to be the spell book. Now it has everything under it, from melee, ranged, mage, and then your defense and constitution. Now, one thing I noticed is right away I look for teleports. So when I opened up the tab, I was presented with this. In the very first square, it isn't the teleport option with the H in the circle. You have to actually go under magic. Now since this is kind of more complex, to make it easier, Heathenblood told me a nice tip and trick. You can, just like your combat abilities, pick and drag teleports into a new section. I don't quite know how many you have. I want to say you have like 5. Okay, so you have 5 of these bars. So you can always set up a different bar for different combat styles. You can also do them for teleports to make it like a quick access type thing instead of having to dig through these tabs down here. So going back to setting up your ability bar, you have to start with a blank row. Now you'll go in and pick your little squares that you want and drag them over, just like this. Now one thing I noticed right away when Heathenblood was teaching me the basics, some of your icons are brightly lit up and illuminated. The ones that were dull, I automatically assumed I didn't have, but that isn't necessarily the case. We have something now in game called the adrenaline bar, which I'm going to demonstrate for you right now. Now you can go ahead and fill your bar with the illuminated and the dull squares. But if you watch your little ability bar while in combat, this one will fill up yellow. Now after a certain point that your bar has filled up yellow, the dull ones will become illuminated. And I'm not using much right here, so I'll just quickly throw these in and engage in combat. Now as you can see, these things kind of get like a loading bar. And eventually, when your yellow adrenaline bar fills up, you can access these dull skills. Now I just thought I'd point this out right away because it was confusing to me. And Heathen has a lot of tricks up his sleeve, so I never last very long in combat. I haven't perfected a skill. Okay, so I just wanted to go ahead and demonstrate. This is your adrenaline bar, and some of your little dull boxes will light up and illuminate themselves. Okay, now the next thing I want to go through are the rest of the tabs and how they've changed. If you go under combat, you don't find your combat level like how we used to. You actually have 2 options now, and they're found down here to the left of your person's face and name. Okay, as we can see, I have a rather large number. My combat level is not 1,850 8. It's actually, I believe, 184. And in order to get to my combat level, I have to hit the asterisk key on my keyboard. Now, the other number that you guys saw was my total level. And what this does is I can either view a player with their skill total level, here, like we see on Heathenblood, or if he goes ahead and switches it to combat, it'll be just like how we used to see it. Also, your stance changes, like how you're standing and how you hold your weapons. You can put them actually on your back now. I can't demonstrate that. Oh, actually, my defender is tucked like it's on a belt now. And I must point out, the whips currently in beta don't swing like how they do in live game, and that reminds me of how RuneScape used to be. So it just made me a little happy when I saw that. That's just a little added detail I had to put in there. But anyways, and if you're under the combat tab, you can see right away that you don't have the options like we used to of picking if you wanted to train the attack, strength, or defense. You actually have to go next to your retaliate bar, click the XP, and now we see the attack, strength, and defense like how we used to. So I think they're kind of complicating things, but it's nicely set up and it looks nice. The stats bar is still the same. Your inventory is still the same. Worn equipment is still the same. Don't know if any of you have experimented with the customization, but that's rather fun if you have the right outfits for it. Next tab I want to discuss is the prayer list. Now, one thing I have to say right away is Heathenblood cannot run HD or high graphics like I can. He runs on minimum graphics. And the one thing he stated to me was when he goes to the prayer tab, he cannot see what the prayers are. And since they've removed some obsolete prayers, it's difficult to figure out what prayers they are, translating them from the older style of the game, if I must say. So, since I am in HD or high definition, I can actually see what the prayer is and what it does in the requirements. People who play on minimum graphics, unfortunately, so far, seems as if they can't see those. I don't know if I've missed something as to where they tell you how to fix that, but that's just something we've noticed, and we will dig in further and find out information and see if we can fix that and make it more beneficial for Heathenblood. Okay, so we've already gone through the ability book. Your friends list is the same with the friends chat, the clan chat. Setting up everything is still the same. The rest of the tabs still the same. So this was just a little video I wanted to release to get everyone kind of in keen and maybe a little more excited about the new evolution of combat coming out. Personally, I can't say if I'm excited yet. I don't quite know. It hasn't really consumed my playing yet. But on that note, if anyone wants to try it out on an actual player, feel free to let me know in clan chat, on the YouTube channel, or whatever means of communication we have, and I'll easily come down and duke it out with you in the duel arena or whatnot. So yeah, I want everyone to be active in this, so go ahead and let us know whatever you want to do. If you have any questions, we'll try to answer them. Alright, so thanks for tuning in, guys.